everyone. In today's lesson, you're going to be doing pages 187 and 188 in your Jump Math 3.2 workbook. The page is called Creating Pictographs, and the reason for that is because you are going to be creating your own pictograph based on the shapes that are displayed on the page. Now, in order to do this, you need to be familiar with the following terms: triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon, hexagon, circle. Now, these are terms you probably learned in grade 2, but let's talk about them just to make sure you understand. Triangles. How many sides do triangles have? Did you say 3? I'm just going to put that as a reminder on your page. So you are going to count how many 3-sided shapes there are on this page. Then you're going to look at a quadrilateral. This was a spelling word, quad. If there's a prefix quad at the beginning of a word, what does that mean? Well, quad means 4. So when you see quadrilateral, how many sides does that shape have? Well, it must be 4. The next one is a pentagon. And again, this was one of our spelling words. What does pent mean at the beginning of a word? It means 5. So when we see the word pentagon, that means a shape that has 5 sides. Hexagon is a shape that has 6 sides. And of course, you know a circle. It has one continuous curved side. So here's what your job is going to be for the first part. Count the number of shapes that have 3 sides. They are triangles. Count the number of quadrilaterals. They're shapes with 4 sides. They are kind of all over the place here. There's one here, and then there's a few more throughout your page. Okay? Count the number of pentagons, hexagons, and of course circles. Then you have to choose a symbol, because in a pictograph, there are simple symbols that are used to create your pictograph. Choose a symbol for your pictograph. Make sure it is easy to draw half a symbol. So for example, I could use a circle to represent all the shapes in my pictograph. You might choose to do a triangle. That's easy to cut in half, or even a square or a rectangle. It's up to you. Just any shape, actually, that can represent the shapes in your pictograph. All right? Then you're going to draw the pictograph using your symbol. Remember to fill in the scale. So in this scale, your symbol, so I chose a circle, so I'm going to say that a circle equals 2 shapes. I'm going to use this information here to put into my pictograph, using the scale that every symbol equals 2 shapes. Okay, that's how you're going to fill in your pictograph. Then you're going to analyze your pictograph a bit. Look at the information that is here and find out what is the most common shape in the picture. That's the one that there was the most of. What is the least common shape in the picture? You know what to do there. Okay, polygons have straight sides. How many polygons are in the picture? Now, you may not have heard this word polygon, or it might have been since grade 2 that you heard about it, but a polygon has straight sides. Do circles have straight sides? No, they don't. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind when you ask how many polygons are in the picture and how many more polygons than circles are in the picture. Now you're doing a comparison, okay? This compared to all the rest. How many more? Okay, so that's how you do page 187. Let's take a look at page 188. At the top of the page, you're choosing the correct scale for the data that is given. Now, the important thing to remember for this activity, question number 2, is you want to choose a scale that works well with the numbers that you're dealing with. For example, look at 2A. It's 12, 6, and 8. Would it make sense for me to use a star as my scale? It means, 10 as my scale? Well, no, because 8 and 6 and 12, those numbers don't work well with that one. What about 5? Are these numbers divisible by 5? Well, 5 plus 5 is 10. Doing 6 and 8 is going to be really hard. I can't even show a half using those. So of course, using 2 as your scale is going to work the best. So that's why you circle. I would use 2 as my scale for this one. 30, 20, 40, which one would work best for this large amount of data? Keeping in mind that each one ends in a 0, these are tens. So what would work best? Okay, 9, 12, and 6. Which one works best? Think of the number that goes into each one of these numbers. Okay, it's divisible by, or a multiple of. 25, 10, and 35. I see some 5s and 0s there. Which one would work best? All right. For the last one, you're going to make 2 more pictographs using 2 different scales. Okay, you're going to use the data that has been collected here. Grades 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This was the number of students each grade had at camp. Okay, so we're imagining that these kids went to camp and they are counting how many grade 1s, how many grade 2s, how many grade 3s, 4s, and 5s that are visiting camp. The first pictograph you're going to draw is going to be where your symbol equals 5 students. So you're going to think, for grade 1, I have to count by 5 until I reach 15. 5, 10, 15. For grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and grade 5, you will have to fill in the rest using a scale of 5 students for every symbol. In the second pictograph you're going to make, you're changing your scale so that it's now, the symbol represents 10 students. That's a big change. So now for grade 1, 15 students would look like this. 1 circle equals 10, but then look, there's a 5 left. I have to do half of a circle. Okay, now it's 10, 15. I want you to fill in the rest. You don't have to do this part on mode, all right? For the last one, you are analyzing some data given to you on a pictograph. So use the pictograph to answer the questions. How many more students visited Vancouver than Ottawa? Well, the scale is 10. Every happy face means 10. So you have to find out first how many students visited Vancouver, how many students visited Ottawa. Look, there's a difference. What is the difference? You're going to write it here. Okay, fewer students visited Calgary than Ottawa. How many fewer? That's finding a difference. 15 more students visited Toronto than Winnipeg. Show this on the pictograph. You will have to fill in the amount for Winnipeg. All right, so that is your job today. Continuing on with the idea of pictographs, you are going to be pictograph experts by the time you are done. Have a great day.